Hello everybody out there once again. Welcome back to the Brawl for All Pro Wrestling Show. It's episode 42. I'm your host Jeff Jaros, and joining me fresh out of the Wyatt compound, it is none other than Jeff Crow. He has returned. Can you give us a little backstory on where you've been, man?
I am back, and yes, I spent quite a bit of time at the compound.
Brother Braun, I see, has...
yeah. Brother Braun.
That must have been the surprise you were telling us about.
Yeah. Brother Eric still not ready, but Sister Abigail gave Bray one of the greatest gifts she could ever give, and that was the true black sheep.
Well, I announced the rumor last week or the week before that they are actually thinking about making a girl Sister Abigail.
Yes, she's there.
Oh, and I got something else when we get to the news part, because we will have Cdub coming on from Chronochord Media to finish the show out with us when we get to the news. Some pretty extensive news this week, some crazy stuff going on in the world of wrestling, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
One of the more wilder months I've seen.
There always is, but it's quite rampant this
it's
week.
Gotten really carried away, let me tell you. I mean,
Yes, unexpected stuff.
Yeah, and like major headline news, like they're making like NBC and stuff like that, like Fox and stuff like that. So
that's pretty bad.
Yeah. So we'll get on to that.
If it was good news, might be one thing, but when it's bad news...
Yeah, it's not really good news. That's all I got to say. But yeah, bear with us through Raw, get through the notes, and we will be talking about that sooner than later here. So this episode of Raw, man, we watched it together. I never got tired or anything this Raw. It was pretty damn good Raw. They just put you right. They moved it right along, really.
Yeah, it started out good, and like you said, it just kept rolling, kind of.
Yeah, it really was one of the better ones. Like, I remember last week, that second hour about put me to sleep. This week, I think they pretty much kept your they kept you wondering, like, is Sting gonna come back out and stuff like that. You wanted to see the Dudley Boys. Oh yeah, and let's just talk about how they really stressed the matches coming up next on this one. And even at the beginning, I hadn't seen them do that for a while. Run down the list of matches on the card.
No, like it was like an actual fight going on, like a UFC card, basically.
Right, and you noticed, like, every break we said, like, they were like, okay, stay ready, the Dudley Boys will be coming up later, and stuff like that. Like, they have not been doing that lately.
No, so they definitely wanted to keep your attention going.
Yeah, I think that's a new format for them that they're trying, because it definitely was noticeable to me. I mean, we watch this every week, and I can point out stuff like that when they try to change. I never seen so much ever. Yeah, I never seen so much.
Times they mentioned it too. It wasn't like they just mentioned it once.
No, about every break they had something different. Like, coming up next, like they did not want to lose that viewer. And I'm sure it's had to do with the ratings lately, because last week's Raw was lower than the week before, and it was coming out of SummerSlam,
Right. So. And maybe they are trying this new format. So, football's coming up, so...
Yeah, they got to keep... I always think they should do that more anyway, because... They'll lose a lot of viewers because just that they don't know what's going on. Like, what's coming up next, you don't ever know.
Right.
So I think that might be a good thing.
Yeah, and it don't seem as thrown together. It seems like, they got everything planned out. Maybe going to roll smoother that way, too.
Yeah, it didn't seem like a jumbled mess. Like, they knew what they were doing.
Right.
Like, they have had a meeting about it. This is what we're going to do, guys. All right, well, let's whip through Raw here real quick. Like I said, one of the better ones. You had the beginning where, really cool, when Sting came out and cut his promo on his title match with Rollins. And, man, he put over Triple H big time in that. What did you think of that opening promo? I thought it was really cool to kick it off with Sting. And I don't know is this Sting's first time where he's actually talked on Raw?
I think it may. The only other time... may have been I think they had the exclusive afterwards.
Yeah, on the network. That was the only other time they have. So we actually got to see Sting come out and cut a promo. Wow.
And he cut a hell of a promo too.
It
like
was.
You said, he put Triple H over, but it was a good promo.
Yeah, it was. It harkened back to his TNA promos, man. They just let him go out there and cut loose. Man, I almost got a hint of some of the Joker Sting in his talk, and it was like...
Yeah, he kind of mixed both of them in together, kind of real well.
That's a guy that, started off not being able to cut promos great, and man, he's really became one of the best.
Yeah, I mean, I would say, well, in the beginning of his career, he didn't really need to cut good promos back then, but
no.
But over time, yeah, he learned how to cut them pretty good.
TNA really helped him out with promos. Gave him so much mic time.
He did a lot of talking there, and he did more like the Joker.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I know a lot of personality out and got to speak more. Like when he was the Crow, he didn't hardly say anything for.
Yeah.
How.
Then he had the main event Mafia, and they gave him some like authority roles there, and he was able to. He had to stick quite a bit there.
Yeah, so that definitely helped.
I did sense like Sting seemed nervous out there.
Yeah, he has a few times. It seems like I think it's just he hasn't had that many appearances out in front of the crowds like that. So.
Yeah, it's kind of weird to him. I think almost a little bit like he feels out of his element.
Right.
Yeah, he'll have to get used to that. But yeah. I think it's also because it was like his first live promo on TV that he's cut, and he's like, I hope this comes off good.
Wanted to nail it.
He did nail it, man. But I did sense some nervousness. But Sting,
I think he'll get over that quick. I mean,
like we said though that week before, man, he's moving. He made Taker look so bad. I mean, do you have any comment on that last week?
Oh yeah, that was he made him look terrible. Like he's about 20 years younger, and he's actually older, I believe.
I know, man. It was just crazy how fast this guy was moving around. He's really got himself into great shape.
Like I said, when he came off the ropes and clotheslined Rollins over the rope, I mean, he was moving.
Yeah, he really was. I like that a lot. So moving on from that, well, go ahead.
Either.
Say what?
Didn't look winded at all either.
Hell no, man. Like I said, he's gotten himself into good cardio and stuff for this.
Taker would have been about to drop, probably.
Yeah, I don't see them ever being able to do Sting Taker.
No.
Just wouldn't work. Taker,
but
that's
you never know what they'll do.
Taker's a whole nother story. I'm sure he'll be back soon. We can talk about him.
Yeah, hopefully good about him one of these times.
Yeah, let's hope he gets into shape.
Yeah.
He just needs cardio, man, because like he just lays around and stuff too much. I don't know if it's just like his legs and stuff can't hold him up, or if it's just him winded. I don't know.
Yeah.
Mouth wide open, sucking air.
Cut down the powerlifting and hit the cardio.
You know when a guy's got his mouth wide open, he's gasping.
2 minutes in.
Oh, man, it was bad. Okay, so we went on from that Sting promo that kicked it off real good. They had that little backstage segment with Rollins pissed off about having to face Sting, he talked about Triple H. Stephanie talked about Triple H actually being better than him because that was one of the things Sting said, that Rollins was better than him, that Triple H was better than Rollins. And he wanted Sting to give him his statue back, too. That was one of the main points. So just a stupid little backstage thing. Not much to say there, do you?
No. Did he claim something about he was better than everyone?
Who's that? Rollins?
He was, insinuating he was better than Triple H.
Yeah, well, I see this Triple H feud coming. No problem. I mean, it's a no-brainer. I bet by WrestleMania these two have a match.
Yeah, I would think so. The way it's looking, I mean, I think they planted that seed a while ago.
Yeah, and they want to boost Rollins. What a better way to get him in there than with Triple H at Mania.
Yeah, I put him over Triple H. That'd be good.
I have some other stuff to say about Rollins, but I'll get there on the news and notes because of that whole girlfriend thing that happened. Dolph Ziggler with Lana versus Rusev with Summer Rae. I didn't even get a finish for this match and never did look it up. I don't know what the hell happened. I think it was a no contest because everybody just kind of got clustered at the end.
Yeah, I think Summer Rae may have interfered, got in there, and then Lana got in. And
so it might have been a DQ on Ziggler, or DQ win for Ziggler then. I'm not sure on that. Doesn't really matter. It'll just continuing the storyline. They need to do a mixed tag match.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know if they're getting them some in-ring practice first or what's going on.
I like Ziggler's new attitude with Lana and stuff, and his new attire and stuff like that.
Yeah, he definitely needed freshened up.
Boy, he looked like Michaels when he took that bump off the apron too, I just have to say.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you could put a shot of Michaels right next to Ziggler doing that, and it looks exactly like that. I was like, wow, that was crazy.
Uses a super kick a lot.
Yeah, he has a lot of HBK in him anymore, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So then we had Ziggler's interview with Renee Young, and then they talked about, the Dudleys and Braun Strowman going to be on. Like I said, they were really stressing that shit.
Yeah, they were.
That interview with Renee Young pretty much just about, your average talk about what's going on with Rusev.
Yeah.
Not much to say. Go ahead.
I just said not much there.
Nope. Team Bella were in the ring next, and they had Nikki talk about, becoming the longest reigning champ in history. I think it was like 2 weeks. She'll become the longest reigning champ.
Right.
And then they had Becky Lynch and Alicia Fox, and Becky won with the disarmer at 321. This was the Beat the Clock challenge. And what I thought was weird is how come only the Team PCB members were in this?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't even think about that. But yeah,
I guess it's because they won the SummerSlam match.
That's possible. Maybe
That's the only thing I can think of. I never
know.
really heard anything on that, but she had 321. You knew that wasn't lasting.
No.
So what do you think of Nikki? You think she's going to get that longest reigning champion?
I think she is. SmackDown, though, that Charlotte was demanding that she actually face her before the 14 days is up. So I don't know if that was going to be granted or not. So I don't know what they're going to do there.
I don't see him keeping the belt this long on Nikki and not pulling it through.
Yeah,
2 weeks.
It would be pointless.
And they really don't like AJ right now.
No.
And they just want to get that title off of her, I think. That she's the longest reigning champ. Onto somebody who's more WWE oriented.
Yeah, and it's been there quite a while.
I mean, we had times where we thought she was going to lose where she won. So, it's just... I just can see it happening now.
Plus, I mean, she's improved a hell of a lot in the ring. She's good and pretty damn good, actually.
I will say this, though. If somebody takes it, it's going to be Charlotte.
Yeah.
After she beats the record, anyway.
Yeah, she's probably going to get the record, and then Charlotte will beat her, I'm sure.
Right. Then we had the Ryback interview on his IC title match with Big Show. He dissed both Big Show and Miz. Then they showed Summer Rae taking off out of a dressing room door, and then it opened and it was Ziggler standing there with just his towel on. So that was kind of Attitude Era-esque, I thought.
Yeah, that was pretty good. That was funny.
So, what do you think was happening there with old Ziggs?
I don't know. Getting a little Summer Rae too.
He acted like he did. He acted like, what the hell? That was so funny, dude.
Got both the Rusev's women.
I'd love to see Ziggler's reaction when they told him about that storyline.
He's probably, you kidding me?
Yeah.
Just a rib.
I got not much to say because we got to talk about that again later. Big Show Ryback for the IC title again. Miz on commentary. Ryback won it via Shell Shock. It's the Job Show. So that's his new name, I think. I mean, when's he just gonna... I love the please retire, and he grabs the mic. You want me to retire? You have somebody come out here and retire me. Like it's a real shoot.
And then he pulls a face move at the end, didn't he?
What did he do? I don't remember. I thought he got shell shocked and he was done.
I don't know if he knocked out Miz.
Yeah, I can't even remember. I don't have it noted.
Hell, he knocked out somebody.
Probably the ref. I don't know. Didn't Ryback celebrate with him or something at the? I don't remember what the hell happened here. But this feud,
I know he got a little pop for whatever he done. So,
in my opinion, the feud is horrible though for the IC titles right now. So it's like, God dang.
There's only 3 people you can get. What the hell?
Oh, they could have Ambrose and them guys in them, but they got them tied up in this Wyatt feud. It's weird.
I know, man.
The guys that really should be going after the IC.
Cesaro, Owens, I mean, come on.
Ziggler.
Yeah, Ziggler.
Even Rusev would be better.
Rusev, I mean...
I don't understand it, man. I hate that title feud going on. I'm not a fan of Ryback, Big Show, or The Miz by far.
No.
And I'm with the people. Please retire, Show. No disrespect, man.
When you like Ryback the most out of those, that's pretty bad.
I'd like to see him in some kind of authority role or something, maybe instead of wrestling on full time. It just needs freshened up, and seeing him on there, you're like, God, I've been seeing this for 10 years now. Jeez.
Shoved down your throat.
Yeah. Charlotte and Brie Bella. Charlotte had the win at 140. I don't know what the hell happened. This match seemed weird how quick they won it. Like, I don't know if they wanted her to win that fast or not. Never heard anything.
No, it was pretty damn quick, though.
I guess they just wanted Charlotte to get the win as quick as possible.
Yeah.
I mean, so you could basically know she was going to win like we did.
Yeah, it would have took... there was no way Paige was going to win.
If they would have at least had her time a little longer, we could have thought maybe Paige had a chance. But, man, they made us think, like, okay, we know who's winning this.
Yeah, if it would have been a little bit over 2 minutes, maybe.
Right it was like we already knew it. Like, we didn't even need to see that third match.
No.
I love I love what they tried to do, too.
I mean, who's going to beat a minute something real quick?
Yeah, it was just impossible time to beat. I don't know if they meant to get it into a minute 40, like it just happened too fast or what. I mean, the time's right up. Say
maybe
what?
Yeah, maybe they wanted her to look that dominant. I don't know.
Yeah, because the time's right up there. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Next, we had the Dudley Boys cut that promo backstage on becoming the 10-time tag team champions, which I hope they do, and I'm pretty sure they will get that 10-time tag team championship reign.
Yeah, I mean,
really,
they definitely deserve it.
It's really cool to see him back.
Oh, I know. I'm so glad they finally got back.
It's freshened up that tag division.
Yeah, and there's teams coming up, so the tag team's looking pretty good, actually.
Yeah, in NXT, like Jordan and Gable are impressive, and man, they got some tag teams down that are pretty impressive, really.
They do. I don't know which ones they're going to bring up. But,
Enzo and Cass.
Yeah.
Who definitely need an NXT tag reign. Come on.
Yeah, I know. That baffles me.
I guess that they're just one of these teams that falls in the category where they think they just don't even need the belt.
They just get over enough that they don't need it.
Yeah, they don't even need it. They don't even really go for it. I think once or twice they did.
Yeah.
After that, we had Cesaro versus Owens again. And Owens winning again with the pop-up powerbomb, so pretty much burying Cesaro even farther. We would have thought Cesaro come back and get a win so they can keep this feud going, but now it's just ridiculous, like he's beat Cesaro twice.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I don't understand the booking. Cesaro, one of their top guys, by far. He should definitely be up there in the IC title hunt or something.
Yeah, I have to look at SmackDown and see what they had on there with them. I seen they talked to both of them, so.
But it wasn't even a tough victory or anything. Owens just wins pop-up powerbomb. It's like, what the hell?
Yeah, you would think he would get a DQ or something. I don't know.
Especially with people not even liking Owens backstage. Well, they must have changed their mind because he's beat Cesaro twice in a row, unless they just hate Cesaro that much.
Yeah,
somebody's got something against Cesaro.
Yeah, either they're that or they're gonna start him with a big push now. I don't know. Maybe that was. We'll see.
Two losses in a row to the same guy. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we had Ziggler having to explain to Lana backstage about, the whole situation with the towel and how he claimed nothing happened, and Summer Rae just came in there and he grabbed his towel and she seen him naked for 2 seconds, and that was it. 2 seconds was all she seen. Lana looked like she was ready to cry and just walked off, so there's some tension between Ziggs and Lana. I mean, I don't understand that storyline there. What are they going to do?
Yeah,
they're already having tension? Like, the relationship's been, 3 to 4 weeks?
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know what the point, what's going on now, so.
It's weird.
Unless they have Lana turn back on Ziggs somehow, I don't know.
That'd be just stupid by now.
Yeah.
I mean, they've invested all this to do that.
Yeah,
just to get back at him. Typical WWE if they pulled something like that.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. It'll be interesting to see what happens next week.
Yeah, it will. We had the Wyatt family enter the ring next, and I'm loving the Wyatts right now with Strowman. Bray cut a promo about Strowman, and actually Strowman got on the mic and says, "This isn't the beginning, it's the end, the apocalypse." Wow.
Yeah, it is. It's the end.
The Black Sheep. Braun Strowman took on Ambrose. Reigns and Strowman actually got into it, so the bell rang for a DQ. Strowman, Ambrose, and Reigns broke out into a big brawl, and Strowman showed off his impressive strength, he just whipped Reigns around.
Right.
Harper aided in leveling Ambrose and Reigns out, and then Bray picked up Reigns and hit him with the Sister Abigail, and then they all posed as he screamed out "Follow the Buzzards," in his classic pose. I definitely see a Sister Abigail coming into play, and I definitely see Eric Rowan coming back to help Ambrose and Reigns. I mean, that's all I can think about right when I see that. Like, you got the black... Go ahead.
That's what I was going to say. They have to have somebody help them here soon.
It's almost obvious because they had him wear the black sheep mask, so you're going to have the good sheep mask guy against the dark sheep mask guy. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's what I think they're going for with having him come out with the sheep mask too.
Yeah, and Rowan actually can talk. I mean,
yeah, and he was actually getting over good as a face.
Yeah, so
yeah, that's one of the guys we were lucky enough to see in Springfield was Rowan. He was huge.
Yeah, he is a big son of a bitch.
Yeah, he is. I mean, I do think that'd be cool, dude. That'd be a cool feud, having a Wyatt family member against the Wyatts.
Right.
Like, I know what you guys are all about, and he can be like the positive person to combat against the Wyatts because he knows what they're all about.
Yeah. And they could go maybe having some history between him and Strowman,
Yeah, and also they could have, like, he can combat, like, their theatrics and stuff like that, because he knows their powers or whatever. That'd be neat, man, to go in something like that, where like Rowan actually can protect them from certain stuff from Bray.
That'd be pretty cool.
Like his mind games and stuff like that. Like he can pull the mind games off too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think they'll do something here probably. I'm saying on Raw.
That'd give that'd give Rowan a darker edge too if he could start pulling off some mind games and shit.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
It'd be like
have, two of them against each other.
Yeah,
forces.
like a face Wyatt almost.
Right.
And he needs some kind of character anyway.
Yeah, I mean, he was getting kind of bland.
I see him maybe even getting rid of that sheep mask when he comes back too. Like he'll wear it out, but maybe he'll as a symbol of breaking up with the family, he'll get rid of it, destroy it,
burn it.
Right, something like that. We're coming up. We should be writing this shit, man. What the hell?
I know.
Okay, Rollins.
They better be down all of our stuff we're saying.
Yep. Rollins backstage with Renee Young says he's going to call out Sting, and he reminds us that he is the WWE and U.S. champion and that he is the man. I just can't wait for Rollins to lose both these belts, and what a bad champion.
Yeah, it's gonna be funny when he loses them both.
It's just boring to me.
I know. I mean, he can have hell of matches, but he doesn't.
He can, and he's had a few, like him and Cena's wasn't bad and stuff. But man, I just don't I don't get excited when I see Rollins.
No, he doesn't have that. I don't know.
Not championship material, in my opinion, and I know Cdub feels the same way too. So
yeah, I think the next few years he will eventually, but
he's definitely got it in him to be a really hated heel.
Yeah,
I mean,
and I think that'll help him eventually turn his face,
which is helping him not be liked by us either, probably too, because he is a whiny little bastard on there.
He is. He kind of like.
Hard to take.
Like a young Jericho kind of.
Yeah, you're right. He's hard to take, dude.
Yeah.
But I do have something else to say about this guy that I'm wondering about your guys' opinion when it comes up to the news. Summer Rae, Lana segment backstage on the Ziggler and Summer deal where Dolph was naked. He told her to get into the shower. He tried to seduce her. And then Summer says she'll never forget the naked body of Dolph Ziggler. And Lana started crying and walked off.
Oh,
so according to Summer, he jumped into the shower and tried to seduce her, and then she just saw his naked body. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is PG-13? Or this is PG. PG, not even 13. This is just PG. We're talking about, seeing a man's naked body, and she'll never forget it.
Let's see if they keep getting a little more edgy with stuff or not.
It seemed weird, right? Like... This didn't...
What?
Like, they haven't done nothing like that in a while with nakedness and stuff like that. What, Russo write that?
Val Venus was...
I think Russo sent that idea in.
Probably.
Vince is like, oh, this Russo has an idea. Let's use it.
I don't know. I just seen some...
Hell, it's better than my stuff. Oh, Jesus.
70.
Okay, then we had the semi-main event, which I was kind of surprised and kind of glad. They put the Dudley Boys and New Day against each other in the semi-main. Go ahead.
I just said that was sweet.
Yeah. New Day claim they have the last table in the house, and they will do whatever it takes to save that table. And they started doing Save the Table chant. The Dudley Boys hit the ring then. They had the PTPers on commentary, primetime players, and hey, they actually called themselves PTP this week, which I've never heard them say before, and I've always called them the PTPers, so it's weird. It's not very hard to think of, because the only reason I say it is because Dick Vitale used to say he's a real PTP, or primetime performer, or whatever. Yeah. You remember that? That's where I got it from, was Dick Vitale.
Yep.
So...
I don't know if they've said it or not. I'd have to...
I don't know either, man. That is weird that he said that. I never heard him say that. But if they have, I don't remember. They 3D'd Kofi for the win, and then they grabbed that table, and Woods actually saved Biggie from going through it, so we didn't get to see anybody get put through the table from New Day this time.
Not yet.
So that'll be good payoff when we actually finally get one of them guys to get through the table. I think they already put somebody through the table, though. Who did they put to the table initially? Was it New Day?
Yeah, I think it was it Kofi?
Xavier, I think.
Yeah, it was Xavier.
They put him through. So now they need to put Biggie and Kofi both through. That'd be a good storyline. Just having them chasing them around with tables, trying to put put all three members through. They can say they already did Xavier. And that'd be funny. They could have Xavier act like all cocky because he don't have to worry about being put through the table.
Put him through it again.
Yeah, that'd be great. Oh, all of them at once. We need a Spike Dudley return.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
And he can help him. He can help him put the third one through, and they can do them all at once. That'd be sweet, man.
Him and Xavier could go at it.
I ain't even been thinking about Spike.
I'd seen him on... I was watching something and he was on there.
Is he still skinny and shit, or...?
This was like... I forget what was... It was just... Oh, it was like on the network. It was the biggest underdogs, and he was on there, but I didn't see anything recent, really, of him.
Well, that's kind of a good sign, though, that they're putting him on biggest underdog. I mean, even though it's been a while ago, they're still thinking about him.
Right. So he may show up.
And they did.
Like I said, I haven't seen him in a while. So.
Did you see that top 10 table spots for the Dudleys that they put up?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Was Spike involved in any of those? I never watched it.
I think he was, a couple of them.
Man, I could see him bringing Brother Spike back just to combat the New Day 3-on-3. Okay. That'd be cool, man. I just thought about this right now on the show. So
him and Xavier would be perfect.
I mean, he'd be perfect to come back. How can you not put Spike back in there?
Dudley.
He'll be the one to save their ass whenever the New Day start beating them down or something. How much you want to bet?
Yeah.
If we ever see New Day start taking advantage 3-on-1, you know what's going to happen. Spike. And he don't really need a physique because he always wore a t-shirt and pants anyway. Like,
yeah.
Even if he's gained a little weight, he'll look the freaking same. I don't think he probably has. He never gained a pound.
No, he probably hasn't. Hopefully his body can still walk.
He was always a good worker and could take some abuse.
Oh, he took some bumps. Oh, man.
Man, I remember that one where he hit his head off the side, missed the table completely, but his back of his head smashed it. Law Resistance, I think, did it to him. Like a power bomb from the ring outside, and he missed it completely, but the back of his head hit the table. It was crazy.
Oh, yeah. Sid put a beating on him a few times, I remember.
Oh, Bam Bam, I think, didn't he throw him out in the crowd in ECW?
Oh, yeah. Threw him 3 rows out.
Oh, yeah. Man, Sid would just kill people in ECW.
Oh, yeah, he did.
Seth Rollins on the main event here. I don't know if you call this the main event, just the main event segment. So, Seth Rollins called out Sting. He talked that that's what he was there to do, and he wants him to take back what he said about Triple H being better than him, and he wants that statue back. Then Steph came out bitching for even comparing himself to Triple H. And then Cena came out, which was, I pretty much expected Cena to show up. He talked trash on Rollins, and then he said he thinks he's actually friends with the Authority. You know, said that he's wrong, you know, that he's not really, they're not his friends and stuff like that. And then he talked that his rematch for the U.S. title that he's wanting at Night of Champions, and he asked Steph, you know, if it was up to her whether he gets his rematch or not for the U.S. title, and she says yes, at Night of Champions, Cena will take on Rollins for the U.S., and then he will take on Sting for the WWE in the same night. Rollins got pissed, and then they had Sting come out and just stand there next to Cena as it went off air. So I thought it was a good ending because we got to figure out that he's going to have to possibly drop both titles that night.
Yeah, they confirmed on SmackDown he has to take on both of them.
Man, and I think it could be stemming from this current situation with him and his girlfriend. I'm not going to say for sure, but when we get to the news and notes and get Cdub on here, I'll talk more about it. But let's hit up Cdub now and get him on for the news and notes, man. But yeah, overall, I thought Raw was pretty good this week.
Yeah, it was definitely. I mean, the last couple weeks I've actually enjoyed. I mean, the week before there was times where it was slow, but
yeah, it wasn't it wasn't boring to go through this week. That's for sure.
No, like we said, that new format they got going is pretty good so far.
Right on. So now, are you ready to get Cdub on here and go over the news and notes?
Yep, brother Cdub.
All right, Cdub, we got you on here, man, and I just got to shout out to everybody that Jeff Crow is no longer with us, and no, he did not die or anything. It's just that we recorded this second half with Cdub like 2 hours later, and I think he may have passed out or he's having phone problems or something because I haven't heard from him. So, Cdub, are you ready to get on with the news and finish this thing out?
It's that fucking Wyatt family again, dude. I told you, Jeff.
I swear to God, I think he was stolen in the middle of the episode by
Jeff,
Bray
man.
Wyatt.
I told you not to be messing around with them Wyatts. I told you, man.
It's 2 hours later, but after we get off the phone and we talked about, you know, him being in the compound, now he's gone again. I mean, we'll have to find out what the hell really happened here.
We're gonna. I guess we're gonna have to get to the bottom of this after we get done with this news, Jeff. Let's go ahead and go on with it.
Yeah, but he didn't just suddenly die on us or anything. It's been a couple hours, but I'm glad to get you on, Cdub. So let's talk about this craziness going on. Do you want to wait for the craziness stuff for the end? I think we should.
Up to you.
Right now, just a couple of notes, man. Did you watch NXT?
I haven't had a chance to yet. I did hear that the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Tournament did get started, though.
Yes, it did. And do you know who is going to be in that tournament that they showed backstage making their debut on NXT?
I heard, who was it? Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa?
Exactly. So that's pretty interesting. Ciampa is freaking awesome.
Yeah, he was, both of those guys, if I'm not mistaken, more ROH alumni, so... it seems to be a pattern with WWE these days, and it's a pretty good one.
Yeah, I was excited to see those guys back there. I was like, I know that guy, and then I had to turn the volume up a little bit, rewind, and yeah, sure enough, Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano.
Yep.
Corbin and Rhino defeated the Ascension, and Jordan and Gable defeated Neville and Solomon Crow to advance, by the way.
That was pretty surprising. Neville got put out.
Not to ruin your viewing experience, but...
No, absolutely not, because I did already read some spoilers, but it's been a couple days ago, so I forgot.
Okay, what's your opinion on this? You know, I was listening to Vince Russo's podcast, and he has this opinion that Triple H is pretty much working the old man, because, like, I mean, really, though, think about it. On SummerSlam, you had Kevin Owens go over Cesaro, but he loses twice on an NXT card to Finn Balor, who's still in the NXT. And if you think about it, is NXT a developmental territory? So shouldn't the guy be working his way? That's what I thought it was. The guy should be working his way up to WWE. That's his main goal.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I thought the Kevin Owens-Finn Balor match was all about. That was the closure. Finn Balor beat him. He beat him for the title, and he beat him there, and that's that.
He loses. Then the next night on SummerSlam, he wins against the WWE guy.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's just them sleeping on Cesaro and hesitating to pull the trigger with him.
Well, what about Sasha Banks the same way? She goes down and, well, I guess she has to drop the title. But then that finish they had, so uncharacteristic of her character, shaking hands and hugging, and that's not something Sasha Banks would do. That's terrible booking, in my opinion. And I heard this from them. I agree with that, man. I really think Triple H is trying to work the old man into making NXT bigger than the WWE and possibly giving him some kind of, like, if he ends up, him and the old man on bad terms, he's got something to turn to now. He's at least got the, publicity behind him, and I think people would want to work for him.
Well, I mean, I would agree with all those points for sure. I'm not sure if it's a matter of Triple H working in Vince McMahon and kind of sleight of hand type stuff.
Right now, though, NXT is better than WWE. You cannot say that. I mean, like, the fan following, everything.
No doubt about it, dude. I look forward to watching NXT every week. Raw sometimes is a bit of a chore.
So you think Vince is ever going to wake up to this? I mean, if that's the case. Because even on this week, you had the Ascension, main roster team, come down. They lose to Corbin and Rhino in the first round.
Neville loses, you said?
Neville lost.
Yeah, I mean, that's not necessarily bad booking. I like the fact that you're using main roster guys who used to be in NXT to kind of put these guys who are in NXT now over.
But they shouldn't be perceived to where they can't beat these guys.
No, absolutely. I mean, I agree with that.
And that SummerSlam was a mess.
Yeah, I mean, if you compare the two, if you compare NXT TakeOver to SummerSlam, I mean, it's almost like it's to me, it was hard to believe that you're watching the same company.
It was.
I mean, that these are the same people producing this show.
Right.
There was, not to shit on SummerSlam. I mean, it was what it was. I was entertained, but whenever you compare as a whole those two events, there's no real comparison. And as far as Vince McMahon's influence, man, and what he does, it's his company at the end of the day. The guy just turned, 70?
Right.
So, I mean, I would imagine he's got to retire sometime and go be grandpa.
Right.
I mean, I know that he's been transitioning more and more out of the role of being active, everyday number one guy. But at the end of the day, all decisions go by Vince.
Right, but here's what I think, though. Triple H, he's been denied getting that. He wants that total power and wants to show what he can do. But Vince is always rewriting scripts and changing things at the last second. So I think he's using NXT to show the old man up and show him, what he could be doing.
I honestly, man, I think as long as Kevin Dunn is there, I think from what I've understand about the hierarchy there, Kevin Dunn is more of the problem than Vince McMahon as far as this booking. I mean, but McMahon never really, he's always had somebody to help him. Even back in the day, it was Pat Patterson or Gorilla Monsoon or whoever it was, Chief Jay Strongbow, George Steele. He was always Briscoe, he was always friends with the Grahams, so
Ernie Ladd.
Exactly. Vince McMahon's always had somebody there helping him book. So I think it's just a matter of now that he has Kevin Dunn, who frankly doesn't know squat about wrestling. He's a TV guy, which that's fine. And maybe if his contributions are why Raw is the way it is, that's great. But a lot of people like me, and I think yourself, would much rather see WWE flip itself and NXT's style booking be on the main roster and Raw booking be in NXT.
Yeah, I would love to see that as well.
To me, it makes a hell of a lot more sense.
And the girls division seems so much better in NXT, and then you watch it on WWE and you're like, what in the hell is this? These are the same women down there?
Yep, craziness.
So I just wanted to kind of get your thoughts on that. Yeah, I kind of agree with Russo. I really do think he's kind of working him a little bit.
Could be.
Did you also see that Hogan was on ABC in Good Morning America trying to address those racial remarks and says that, fans and his daughter have all forgave him, and I think he's even trying to get back in good graces with WWE.
Yeah, but Hogan also attributed the reason why he said it, supposedly, which I did not actually see the clip, but I read a summary of it. He said that because he was born in born and raised in South Tampa, that him and his buddies all talked like that.
Right.
And that they all used the N-word and called each other that. And I thought it was kind of bullshit for Hogan to like throw South Tampa. Not that I'm not even from South Tampa. I'm from across the bay. That's in Pinellas County. But still, man, I mean, Hogan lives there. Hogan is a business owner there. Why would you be so stupid to say, well, I'm from South Tampa and people from South Tampa at that time were racist? I mean, you just alienated a lot of people that could come to your business. It's stupid.
Yeah, that was kind of stupid.
But,
I never heard his reasoning. I just seen that he went on there.
I mean, Hogan does bring up a good point about what he said, that he wasn't in a good place at that time, and he wasn't. He was screwed up on drugs for sure. I don't know what his deal is now. I don't know if he is.
Did he admit the drugs?
Like it. Yeah, beg your pardon?
Does he admit the drug use?
Back then, yeah, he definitely admitted that after his divorce from Linda, things kind of spiraled out of control for him there.
Like cocaine and stuff, or what?
I think it was pills. I'm not. I definitely remember him talking about doing pills for sure, and possibly trying to kill himself. And something about getting a phone call from Layla Ali for American Gladiators.
Didn't he say he had he had a gun like next to his head, ready to pull the trigger?
That's what he said, yeah, in his book. But
what's the Layla Gladiators thing?
Apparently, Layla Ali called him to ask if he wanted to be on the new American Gladiators as a co-host, which he was. He ended up being on it.
Right.
And I guess she just happened to be nice and was like, hey, what's going on with you, man? What's up? You don't sound right. Or Hogan said, something, and apparently she reached out and told him, look, don't kill yourself. We'll get you some help, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's what I remember from the book. But
so what's this deal with WWE?
Man, I mean, I don't think WWE's going to be welcoming.
Is he reaching out to them, or are they? What's?
I've noticed Hogan kind of reaching out. Period. To just in general, like reposting articles online, assuming it's actually Hogan, which I pretty much do.
I do too.
I see him putting out articles, retweets, and stuff like greatest WWE wrestlers, and being like, "Oh, I think Hulk Hogan definitely belongs on this list," and stupid. Just you can tell this is him trying to get WWE to take notice of him, and
you know 10 years down the road nobody's going to remember this, and he's going to be back in there.
I beg to differ.
They'll remember it, but it's going to be washed under the rug. How much you want to bet?
I mean, not to compare two things that were a little bit different, but when did the Michael Richards, the Kramer incident happen?
Yeah, but it's been a long while.
It's been a while, and if you bring up Kramer or Michael Richards, I would say
he did a little. That was a little different though, because he was on a live mic and everything. Hogan kind of got his privacy invaded, if you ask me. And remember when Vince himself dropped the N-word on live TV? I remember it.
I do, yeah.
I remember seeing it live and being like, "Did he just say that?"
But then again, yeah, that was pretty shocking. But then again, I mean, not to excuse it, because I don't use that word, but
no, but
to kind of give the same reason that I think Vince McMahon and WWE gave, is that was Vince McMahon, the TV character, saying it.
But still, I don't care.
I mean, you're not going to go after a guy on a TV show who's a racist and calls a black character on a TV show that word. You know what I mean? You're not going to go hang that guy out to dry. And you're not going to go find the guy from Blazing Saddles who used that word.
Booker T called him one.
It's exactly.
I'm coming for you.
Yeah, Hulk Hogan. Yeah.
Man, only if we had that clip to play.
But I mean, either way, man, I was just, more than anything, I was disappointed in Hogan for throwing his hometown area, Tampa, South Tampa, kind of under the bus, man.
Claiming you guys are all just claiming that.
Well, just claiming that, which maybe it was at the time. I didn't grow up in South Tampa in the early or mid to late 60s or whatever the heck it was. But,
right.
I mean, maybe it was, but that still doesn't make it any more excusable.
And this happened in 2006? So he's still using that?
Yeah, I think it was 06, 07 was when this was actually recorded. So
yeah, he's still using the word to this day. So you never got the hint that it was wrong to use Hogan. So
yeah.
Okay, I don't know though. He did kind of get his privacy invaded, in my opinion. But I don't know.
Yeah, That's true, man. I mean, that wasn't...
It's rough on him. I mean, it's ruining his life.
Yeah, I mean, I think so, yeah.
I mean, that's pretty rough. I don't want to see anybody's life ruined for something like that, but I guess... I mean, there's people who've said worse stuff. I mean, I bet.
Have you ever seen the South Park episode where Stan's dad says the N-word on Wheel of Fortune?
Okay, no, I didn't. What Hogan
Stan's dad says the N-word on Wheel of Fortune as an answer to the final puzzle. And
oh yeah, I did see that one. Yeah, I see that.
Like all this terrible stuff just starts to happen to him.
Right.
I don't know. It's kind of Hogan reaching out and trying to save face. Kind of reminds me of Stan's dad in that episode of South Park.
He's like, you know something, brother? I relate a lot to that episode now, brother. I'm gonna go out and show him, brother. Anyway.
Gonna have to go back in all the WWE Network footage and bleep out every time Hulk Hogan says brother.
Well, you know something, brother.
Beep.
Okay, did you see that WWE is giving Bray Wyatt and Bo Dallas' sister a tryout?
Yeah, Micah Rotunda.
So what do you think? She could be the new Sister Abigail that they're looking for?
Man, I've heard a lot of people say that they're going to do that they're going to bring in that character.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
I did hear that she had a tryout, but I would think that they would probably just bring her in as Micah Rotunda, daughter of Mike Rotunda, niece of Barry Windham.
They didn't want to do that with the other two.
I know. That's why I would think that with a diva, with a case like Natty and Charlotte,
right.
It would maybe make a little bit more sense, and they could. I mean, it's pretty easy to show Flair versus Wyndham footage, right?
Yeah, I don't think Tamina's going to be mentioned as Jimmy Snuka's daughter anymore, or be doing the Snuka splash.
I don't expect that to happen.
If it happens, I will be shocked.
I mean, she may do the splash, but it's going to be called the splash from the top rope.
Yeah, it's the Tamina splash. Okay, thoughts on... I just wanted to get your thoughts on this whole Brock at Madison Square Garden on October 23rd taking on Bo.
Taking on Bo Dallas.
Real quick.
Folks,
what do you think?
Get out there and make sure you place your bets early there in Las Vegas for Bo Dallas because, that's going to be a real winner of a bet there. That's the lock of the week. No, Brock Lesnar's going to kick his ass. It's going to be just like the NXT in Tokyo event, which I thought was fantastic, that match with Kofi. I like Bo Dallas. I think he's pretty funny. He reminds me of early Kurt Angle, where he was just a total, complete doofus who was just completely clueless of how much of a doofus he really was. I'm looking forward to it, man. I like Madison Square Garden. I think they could have maybe thrown some kind of bigger matchup in there, which I'm hoping that they will, to draw more viewers. But time will tell as far as that goes. Obviously, Brock Lesnar is going to kick Bo Dallas's ass.
You know Bo Dallas has no chance.
Or maybe, just maybe.
What is this trend about them throwing him against guys like Kofi Kingston and Bo Dallas and stuff like that?
I just had a crazy thought in my head. What if Brock Lesnar has, after about 3 minutes of Suplex City in Madison Square Garden, what if Brock Lesnar has Bo Dallas up for the F5? And all of a sudden the lights go out. The Undertaker kicks him right in the bows. Right in the bows. And then the lights go out again. Bo Dallas is out. On top of Brock Lesnar, who is out. The referee looks around like, what the hell?
Because you'd have to knock out the ref first.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's true. Maybe.
Something would have to happen there because he wouldn't witness that and not call it DQ. Come on.
Well, I mean, Undertaker has magic powers. They can always say some dumb shit like that.
The ref rolls under the ring during the blackout. He's not around. Well, the ref's not around. The ref's not around.
Undertaker put a blindness spell on the referee.
They can have Michael go, the ref's not around. The ref's not around.
But I mean, could you imagine that if the Undertaker screwed
I'd laugh
Brock
so hard.
Lesnar?
I'd laugh just like I laughed right now.
And Bo Dallas goes around the next night, whenever, and saying, I got to win over Brock Lesnar. All I had to do was believe.
And he could claim like he gets a title. He should have a title shot and shit.
I mean, dude.
It'd be classic stuff.
It sounds a little far-fetched, but if they really want to build up the Undertaker screwing over Brock Lesnar.
Ooh, that would piss him off more than anything right there.
Oh, boy, that's nasty.
He'd be ready for WrestleMania, and they should continue doing stuff like that.
I think it'd be great, man.
Just have him face Bo in a rematch and do it again. That'd be funny.
I could see them. I could see him doing it, and that being the build up to.
I'd rather not see Bo knocked out, but Bo just standing there like, "What's going on?" and just make the cover.
Or they could just have Bo outside the ring whenever the Undertaker shows up.
No. When the lights turn off, Bo and the ref disappear, and then when they turn back on, they're just both standing there looking at each other like, "What the hell?" And Bo just gets down there and pins him. That'd be great booking, man. Why didn't they have us writing? Because you know that's not going to happen, probably.
No, but that, I mean, come on. If you want to make the Undertaker a complete coward, kind of doing really desperate stuff, that would be great. Yeah. Madison Square Garden, it doesn't get much bigger than that.
He's been pulling a lot of those heel moves lately.
Yeah, dude. I said it from the beginning, and you were like, I don't know.
Yeah, but they're still not going to make him a heel.
It's not, but I think that I'm pretty sure that's what this slow build, the slow build here is.
It's kind of ridiculous to try to make him a heel, in my opinion. That's the only reason I said that. I don't know.
It is, definitely. I mean, I agree. It's the Undertaker.
It's going to be impossible.
But I think if they do stuff like Undertaker keep kicking Brock Lesnar in the balls,
he looked like shit at the match, so maybe that got hardcore fans pissed at him. They don't even probably want to see him out there again. I mean, he was gasping for air, dude, that whole match.
They should start having the Undertaker's powers not work as well.
Or
the
just
fire.
They should have him roll an oxygen thing to the ring with him, so and put it up on the table so he can do a little roll out of the ring and put the oxygen mask on for a couple seconds and then roll back in there.
They should do a thing there where Taker's powers start malfunctioning and he's like, "What the hell? My powers! I'm losing my powers."
Somebody brings the urn out and it doesn't work for him.
I've been kicking people in the balls too much.
The urn doesn't work for him. I think by Mania he's gonna have the badass gimmick back.
You've done it now.
Yeah, I think so.
You've gone and made a big mistake.
No, he's got to because. I mean, you got to humanize him for the Hall of Fame and stuff. I mean, what are you going to induct the dead man?
You got to humanize him going forward.
You're going to induct the dead man in there.
As a 60-year-old dude with, rest.
That could, and he's a dead man, I mean.
He has to eventually just become Mark Undertaker Calloway. Speaking of dead, maybe we should move on to talk about the probably the biggest news story in a lot, I would say, in what's been a huge 2015 for wrestling news.
Yeah.
I'll let you go ahead and intro the lowdown for that one.
Oh, yeah, we had, after 32 years, I calculated, Jimmy Superfly Snuka arrested for third-degree murder and manslaughter on his then-girlfriend. I guess he, bashed her head in or something, or...
Man, there was conflicting stories. He said originally that they were near the road and she had to go use the bathroom and she fell, and then he said that he pushed her at one point, and then he said that she had fallen before that in the hotel and she came into bed. I mean, honestly, there's no telling, but the autopsy did indicate that there was enough evidence to pursue investigation of that being a homicide.
Right.
The wounds indicated that. So, yeah, Snuka was arrested for that earlier this week, and he did end up being bailed out. He posted the $100,000 bond. I'm not sure who did on his behalf. I do know that they basically said that Snuka's not a flight risk, obviously because of his health and the fact that they took his passport. And also, I heard that the district attorney didn't want to pay to jail Snuka because of the high amount of cost that it would be to give somebody care who, has stomach cancer.
So he's not jailed?
No, Snuka is out.
Even though they set the bond at $100K.
He got out, and the district attorney made, he said there's not a big deal here. We're not worried about it. This is a sick man. And he basically said that he didn't want to put the burden of his hospital care on the taxpayers of, Allentown. It's up there near Allentown, Pennsylvania, I believe. Right. So,
can't believe
it.
Yeah,
man.
Well, I'd heard the story years back, and ever since then, I've been pretty suspicious of him. And that's why when we talked about his stomach cancer bout, why we both said, we can't really, we feel bad, anybody has stomach cancer, but there's some things there. Well, that's what we were talking about. So yeah, it's just really ironic that this came up right after, a couple weeks after we said that,
It's definitely strange. You know, I don't like to speculate on things until, you know, especially legal matters, until it plays out in a court of law.
Right. I'm not blaming him he did anything yet, but
I mean, the facts are he has been arrested.
And if you look at some of this stuff, it's kind of messed up though. Like I don't understand it. Like some of the things he supposedly said or whatever. And
I will say this as somebody who. A citizen of the United States who could be called for jury duty at any time.
Right.
I would say that if I was on a jury taking a look at the evidence that I know before the trial, I would say Snuka is more likely to be guilty of at least negligence in some sort, if not something way more severe like the charges that he's been charged with. So really time's going to tell. I know that he's a sick man. Possibly in more ways than one.
Yeah.
I mean, there's really not a lot to say about it. I hope that the family of Nancy Argentino, I believe was her name.
Yeah.
I hope that her family, I know that I read in an article that her mother is celebrating her 90th birthday this year.
Wow.
And I believe she has 2 sisters or 3 sisters that are still alive. You know, I hope that the family gets some kind of closure out of this. I hope that Nancy's mom gets a little bit of closure out of it.
Yeah, I bet they've been blaming him for years.
Well, there's been a lot. I mean, guys, if you're interested in this, you can go out and Google this. There's some really good investigative journalism that I've read. Go out there and Google it. There's some, you should find a sufficient amount of information on it. I'm not going to try to steer you in any direction, but go out there and look at it and, inform yourself. There could possibly be some involvement, some testimony from some people who were directly involved and who were questioned back in 1983.
Right.
Mr. Fuji was questioned at the time, as well as Don Morocco. Both of those 2 are still living, to my knowledge. Mm-hmm. And, of course, Vince McMahon went at one point and acted as Snuka's mouthpiece to police investigation. So I'm not sure. I mean, I'm not going to say anything against McMahon and what he could have or not, done. As far as I know, it's speculation except for what's out there on public record. So, again, go look it up. Inform yourself. Come to your own conclusion. Good luck to the Argentino family, and I hope justice is served, whatever it is.
I agree with you. And, at that time, he was a big star for him, Snuka, so I would think that Vince would try to get him out of anything he could in any way he can. I mean, I don't know.
That's true.
This was before they took over, though, so I don't know.
Not to make jokes about a obviously serious situation, but now we did see Superfly Snuka removed from the Hall of Fame.
Right, yeah.
Now we're going to see probably the part of Superfly Snuka played once again by Superfly CV Offie, who they actually used, like they called him Super. I mean, obviously CV Offie looked like him.
I seen the match. I mean, he was dressed up like Snuka and everything.
Yeah, man. So,
the crowd really shit on it, too.
Yeah, of course. So I almost wonder if they're going to try to use that somehow.
He will be the new Superfly.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you guys forget about him. You remember Superfly Offie? I mean, Jesus. How about, there's some other crazy stuff. The WWE, the shooting at the Performance Center?
Yeah, dude. Within an hour or 2 after this happening, I was looking online, and somebody on this message board that I frequent posted a link to this guy's Twitter, dude, and his Instagram. Mm-hmm. And I'm just going to say that this guy needed some professional help from licensed mental health professionals.
And who was he scaring, like Alexa Bliss?
I heard that he was looking for either AJ or Lita, and I know that he posted pictures and stuff involving AJ and Lita.
Yeah.
I'd heard that the police in the area had, I think it's Winter Park, which is right outside of Orlando. It's a suburb of Orlando. Mm-hmm. I'd heard that they had a run-in with him before. I guess he lives in the area.
He's tried to get a job with him, I guess.
Yeah, well, he apparently showed up at the Performance Center, like, in wrestling gear, banging on the windows.
Yeah.
And I guess in this incident, he came back and was armed with a knife and was told to leave at some point by somebody or refused entry, and he started, causing a scene. And apparently the police showed up, and he, I guess, wielded the knife in their direction, and he was shot by one of the officers after apparently backing the officer up like 75 to 100 yards or 50 to 75 yards, I think I read.
So the officer was injured in this. I know that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. He may have. I'm not sure if you read that. I didn't actually catch that.
I think an officer was shot.
An officer was shot?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, I think it was the fan dude, because he had a knife. Mm-hmm. And what I read is that he was shot. I never read an update on his condition since then.
Just disregard that. I don't know. Maybe not.
But
I thought
from
there
what
was
I know,
somebody injured during it. I thought it was an officer, but maybe not. So he wasn't. No. So nobody was shot.
No, the guy was shot. The crazy guy who showed up was shot.
Okay.
He was shot by police after backing up an officer.
Okay, so he was injured by the officer. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, dude. He, I mean, I'm not going to talk about the guy's name, but obviously, again, the information's out there. Go find it. You can look for yourself. This guy needed some help. Mm-hmm. And clearly still does.
Talking about knives, man. How about the fan attempting to stab Ambrose during the SmackDown taping?
Yeah, did they ever confirm whether that guy had like a knife or whether he just came at Ambrose?
All I've ever heard is the fan attempted to stab him.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard, but I never heard like actual confirmation. Like, yes, the guy did have a knife or anything.
Neither did I.
I mean, I saw the video and it looked like he was just running toward Ambrose to like turn him around or like.
Well, he had to have something if that came out.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume so. I mean, but you know how things are in that space.
Well, I'm just going to tell you, if something like that happened, I mean, they need to think twice about, like, sending guys in the crowd, like Reigns and stuff like that, because it's getting a little out of control, I think.
Yeah, Reigns has the security that goes down.
That's too close to comfort. Of course, yeah. Well, I don't think even security is going to stop somebody. I don't know.
Somebody apparently threw a Money in the Bank briefcase replica at Roman Reigns a couple weeks ago.
Hit him with it. Yeah.
Yeah, so... I don't know what it is with attacking Shield members, but whatever.
Well, I don't think you should be coming through the crowd.
No.
I mean, unless you're Sandman.
Nobody wants to get that much beer spilled on them.
Nobody's going to do anything to Sandman.
No.
How about Bram being arrested for those 2 felony charges? Strangulation and false imprisonment, man. Yeah, he was holding some chick against her will and strangled her. TNA suspended him indefinitely. I haven't heard, but I'm sure once the charges become, like, if he's pressed, I'm sure TNA will part ways with him.
I would think so. I mean, again,
I think that pretty much does seal it up. Suspended indefinitely. That's like, you're not coming back anytime soon.
Yeah, I mean, again, I hope he has his day in court, but
I don't know what went down there either, really. So
I don't know, but if he's charged in that, fuck him, and I hope he gets fired.
And Bram, the former husband of Charlotte from the WWE.
Yeah, apparently so.
Yeah. Did you see that? This is my last note I had. How about Rollins' girlfriend, Zara Schreiber?
Yeah.
Fired, putting up that pro-Nazi artwork.
Yeah, that was. I saw that, man. That's. I mean, you can't do that. Come on.
Yeah. Well. Here's the thing, though, that I think's really, really weird. It's weird that, like, right after that happened, they had Cena come out and challenge him for the U.S. on the same night as Night of Champions, and now Rollins could possibly have to drop both belts in one night. I think it has something to do with that.
It might.
Very well could. I mean, if he's mixed up in something like that, and they found out about it, that he's that way as well.
Yeah.
I mean,
I would certainly hope not. But
I would certainly hope not either, but I'm sure it's got heat on him.
Yeah, I mean, I think they all probably get a talk about being careful who they associate with.
They're questioning it, I bet.
But I mean, they hired her, so
I won't be surprised for him to drop both those belts.
Yeah, and I mean, this just proves, because I think these were like deleted tweets too.
Yeah, they were deleted and then resurfaced.
This just proves that everything on the internet, whether you delete it or you think it's gone, it's going to be there. If you send something to somebody, it's going to be there. You got to assume as such.
Yeah.
So WWE employees shouldn't be stupid. I mean, they're a publicly traded company. It's,
Right.
Even if they weren't, it would be their prerogative to fire him, and I would certainly hope that they would.
Right, me too. Well, that pretty much sums it up, man. That's episode 42 right there.
Do you have your crazy news week?
Yeah,
dude.
That's definitely a crazy news week. Do you have something to say for Chronochord?
Yeah, man. Go check us out at www.chronochord.com. That's CHRONOCHORD.com. You can find us on YouTube here. You can find us in the featured channels right over on the Brawl for All. And you can check us out on SoundCloud at Chronochord and follow us on Twitter at Chronochord. Same thing on Facebook. Always a pleasure to get on here, Jeff, and talk wrestling with you.
Right on.
I'm hoping the next time we get on here, we might have some nice news, some good news.
Yeah, this was a rough news for week.
2015 in general, man.
That was. I might not have got all the news out there but that was enough for me, man.
Yeah, there was enough bigs. And the Bram arrest and the shooting at the Performance Center happened in the same day.
Yeah. It's just
and I believe
crazy.
The next day was the Snuka thing.
Yeah, it's been crazy.
So WWE public relations been working overtime.
Right, but at least Hogan got on Good Morning America, though.
Yeah, and threw South Tampa under the bus, brother.
Right. Well, Cdub, I'm glad to get you on here as always. I'm going to call it an episode till we have episode 43 next week. Hope to get you on. Maybe we can get you on for Raw that time, too, and talk about that.
Yeah, man.
Until next week, guys, as always, for me and Cdub, peace out.